Hello once again. I hope you're fine. In this video, I am going to cover force account as a method of procurement. We are covering this in part 9 of the Act under section 109. My name is Judith Kombuka. As usual, I am your convener of the study challenge of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015 with the revisions of 2022. Well, first, I would like to describe to you what force account is as a method of procurement. I will use the description that has been given in the Act. This is where a public entity decides to make use of another state or public entity's officers, and they also make use of the public assets and equipment and labor, provided they are competitive. So a public entity A may decide to reach out and make use of the resources, the staff, the equipment of organization B, as long as they are competitive in the achievement of their procurement requirements. For example, if you as an entity, let me use a very practical example. If you as an entity, say you are intending to build a bridge or build a building, you may opt, for example, to go to NYS and use their labor, use their equipment and machinery to be able to do that assignment. But it qualifies as force account under the following circumstances. If the quantities involved are small and scattered or in remote locations for which qualified construction firms are unlikely to tender at reasonable prices, and the quantities of works cannot be defined in advance. That is under condition number 1. Where else can you use force account? If unforeseen and urgent work is required to be carried out without disrupting ongoing operations. Number 3, if the procuring entity is to complete works delayed by the contractors after writing warnings did not yield any tangible results. This method shall only be applied with prior approval of the accounting officer, just like the other methods, within the limits prescribed in the regulations, where the total costs of procuring the goods, works, and non-consulting services are at most set at the prevailing market rates. I hope that is very, very, very clear. So refer to section 109 of the Act, and now in regulations 94 onwards, they've given us more details towards the conditions which allow you to use force account. For example, in regulation 95, it is explaining the procedure for use of force account under section 109 2A in the Act. Section 109 2A of the Act is talking about when quantities involved are small and scattered in remote locations for which qualified construction firms are unlikely to tender, like that tender will not be attractive to them. So you have been given guidance. In such case, how do you apply force account? If you go to regulation 96, procedure for use of force account under section 109 2B of the Act, whereby 2B is when the works are unforeseen and are urgent and are required to be carried out without disrupting ongoing works. If that is the situation you are in, how then do you use this force account? Regulation 96 has clearly explained that. So refer there and familiarize yourself. Regulation 97, how to use the force account in the event that the procuring entity is to complete works which have been delayed by the contractor after written warnings have not yielded to anything. What should you do? How do you then use force account in such a scenario? Refer to Regulation 97. Like that, for you to use a force account in a scenario where there's a delay or failure to complete the works earlier awarded to a contractor, the PE must, a procuring entity may use force account to complete works where completion of works or services has been either been abandoned or delayed, and the cost of retendering is uneconomical. And in such a case, the PE shall terminate the existing contract before the force account method is used. So make sure you refer to Regulation 94, 95, 96, 97 to explain to you how to use this force account in various scenarios. But as a general procedure, what is the procedure of applying force account for a user department? If a user department is considering this method, what should it do? The user department, that is under Regulation 98, the user department shall prepare a detailed proposal on the following: the scope of works or services, the status of the project, justification to use force account. And the justification is what I've already explained. We go to section 109, 2A, B, and C. That will give you the next thing is that should be in this proposal is a list of materials and bills of quantities to be procured. Then like a background mention or factual position of the available state or public officers' capacity and competencies to undertake the assignment, and the cost analysis of fees and rates using appropriate government rates. So the proposal shall be submitted to the head of procurement for review and recommendation to the accounting officer for approval. Upon approval, the user department commences. Upon approval, the user department and procurement function shall commence implementation in accordance to the Act. And then in this case, you're told that the head of the user department shall be the accounting officer's representative in the project. So as I've earlier said, please refer to the regulations. The regulations have given a lot of details on the use of this procurement method. They've simplified it, so you don't have a reason to say that it is a difficult method to use. Refer to the regulations starting from Regulation 94 all the way to 98, and you will be well conversant with the use of force account. So I hope this video has been of help to you. I encourage you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and you hit that notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video in regards to procurement matters, you will be notified and you'll be able to access it for your own learning. Thank you so much. See you in the next video where I am going to be talking about electronic reverse auction. Thank you.